Hello, 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 and welcome, my Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate contract for June, July 2020, or timeless. Whenever you're watching this, it's when you're supposed to watch it. I am your reader, Mark, Angelo, Lyons, Mal, for short, professional witch, professional intuitive president of Drawing the Circle Productions, and fellow earth sign Virgo that I am. I have great love and affection for the Turians and the Capricorns in my life because, let's face it, we're the most stable, usually, depending on placement, right? Hence the readings, right? Hence why we're doing these soulmate readings. If you are new to my channel, though, please do consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel. Follow along, hit that notification bell. I am pretty much putting out content every day, either through these recorded videos or live streams, or I'm even going back into some of my old stuff and editing it. That's on Vimeo now, and it's full content. I'm pulling pieces from it and putting it on YouTube. So, spiritual teacher that I am and reader, I am very, very honored to be doing this during this interesting time right now. This is the Saturday of Gay Pride Weekend 2020, so I am still at home on my own by deliberate choice, and so putting all my energies into my work. You get me? You get me. It's all right, I have a friend come and hang out tonight, so social distancing. So let's get down to work. This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what does not. Check your other signs. It's only a 15-card spread. It's not huge. I've done bigger, certainly, but it's based on the Celtic cross. You'll like it. We are doing it as a contract read, so the first card down will be you, the second card down will be the partner in your soulmate contract, or soulmate, essentially, and we'll talk about what that means in a minute, but once we get those first two cards down from this deck, we're going to lay a Celtic cross, 10 cards on top of that to give you a real journey of what the contract is doing, and 3 oracles to help heal it and move it along. Speaking of helping heal, that's what soulmate contracts do. You help each other heal. That's the bottom line. They're not all romantic, sexual. My mother and I are a soulmate contract. I've had so many soulmate contracts with women in this life as a gay male, gotta say, right? Gay Pride Month, blessed Gay Pride, my brothers and sisters out there. LGBTQIA, and I think they added some more, but people have to send me the emails every time we update that. You know, my memory's not what it once was. So we're not going to be doing divine masculine, divine feminine this time. It's just going to be the zodiac sign, which will be you, and the soulmate partner. Unless you're the cross watcher, then you would be the second card down. A soulmate contract, the ones we are looking at are the sexual romantic ones. I think you got that from the title. So focus on your breath. You'll be able to take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I will do the same on my end to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that comes with this particular type of a soul contract, different than a twin flame. There are some great links in the description box below if you want to go check them out, defining and really just differentiating between a twin flame and a soulmate and all that jazz. Cool, cool. Let's take a nice deep breath and do this. Here we go. There you are, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. And Melchior, hello, my little one. Oh, my kitten. He's a moose. Hi, baby. Hi, honey. Mama's working. He's a Taurus. Oh, look. Oh, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. We're all here. Oh, lay down, baby. He's such a camera hog now. Anyway, let's try this again. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, higher selves, and ascended masters of soulmate contracts. Please, I need 2 cards. There we go. One for the Capricorn and the other for the soulmate in this Capricorn collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, satisfying, sexual, intimate, romantic, soulmate contract, I feel you, for June 2020, or timeless. One, please, first for the Taurus. Yes, that's 1 card, and 1 for their soulmate. Thank you very much. They literally cut that time in half from how this series started doing this. So before I flip these over, these are lovely. Keep in mind that these are two archetypes, you and then your soulmate, showing you the soul powers that you are developing together individually, what you're helping each other heal. They can be a little triggery. On one side of the card, the bottom, is the shadow attribute, sort of what's being healed, what you're helping each other heal, and the light attribute, what you're shooting for. And you've got a divine family archetype, the angel, which is you, my Capricorn, and your soulmate, a healing family archetype. So a divine family and a healing family archetype together, that just, an angel and a companion, that just seems very lovely. That seems just very graceful in its light, and, you know, a freaking nightmare in its shadow. In fact, let's go there. So the shadow attribute of the angel archetype is acting innocent or angelic to mislead others. Everybody's done it at least once, right? Maybe not the Dalai Lama. I always got the Dalai Lama more slack. Falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance? How often does that happen? I mean, in my industry, all the time, I'm sure. The angel in its light attribute, helping those in need with no expectation of return, and that's so Capricorn. I mean, to the point where sometimes you guys martyr, but I get it, right? It's definitely that divine thing. You're like, here, how can I help? Here, you do what you do, and before they even get to say thank you, poof, you're gone, or at least that's what the angel archetype tends to do. It's just so lovely. I mean, my middle name is Angelo. I've studied a lot of angel stuff. Obviously, I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. Nice to meet you. The companion, literally, your companion in this soulmate contract, the shadow attribute, betrayal of misusing confidences, which do happen. Loss of personal identity, right? When the sidekick gets lost. You know, like how Dick Grayson had to go from Robin to Nightwing. Yeah, I'm that kind of gay. Light attribute, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. This is just so lovely. I want that so much for you, Capricorn. I always said I would marry a Capricorn. I mean, as long as because you all get younger as you grow older. It's kind of cool to watch because you're so structured and serious, but then you get this interior strength that you can allow your vulnerability and your innocence to come out and play, and it's just absolutely lovely. Cool. So let's keep going. We've got our couple here, and now is the hoedown, throwdown. We're going to take the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, 10 cards. Going to get them all out at once, turn them face down, and then we're going to Celtic Cross. I'm going to lay it out in the Celtic Cross. One of my favorite spreads for the Eagle Eye View. When you really want to see a relationship, this is a good way to do it, though it changes it a little bit from its usual placements. You'll see. Take a nice deep breath. You'll see if you study tarot. You'll see. Otherwise, you have no idea what I'm talking about. My goddesses. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, my goddesses. Hello, please. Mother Crone. Hello. Please, I need 10 cards. We're going to pull them one at a time, face down, Celtic Cross, for this delightful angel Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this soulmate contract with this companion for June, July 2020, or timeless, please. Can I please have a card that covers this Capricorn angel? That is the card that covers them. Can I please have a card for this companion that crosses the path, or has already crossed the path, maybe? I'm going to say already crossed their path, maybe, of this angel archetype. So there we go. What is at the core, sort of the bottom line, the internal, the subconscious? What's really going on with this one? Okay, in this contract, what's behind them? What's in their behind? What's crowning? What's coming into be? Like a baby being born, you can see the head. Oh, it's crowning. What's crowning? What is before them in this? Before them on the path in this contract? There. We've got the cross. Now let's do the staff. What is the lesson currently, right? June, July-ish, right? Timeless-ish. The lesson From the outside looking in, horizontally, how does the world perceive this? Maybe how each of them perceive it, possibly. Their fate and their destiny, please. What is the fate that is being alchemized into destiny on the hero's journey of this soulmate contract, June, July 2020? And what is, according to this timeline of this, this timeline of this lifetime for these guys, what is the probable outcome? Understanding the quantum variance, variations, choices, and free will, what is the most likely outcome? Which can mean really to the end of the time period, then this point would be the end of July, into August, whatever. Shall we? Let's dive in. All right, remember you, if you are the Capricorn or the Angel archetype with Temperance, brilliant. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. You want to know why? Because if anybody knows the traditional tarot, the Rider-Waite deck, it's always an angel, usually Archangel Michael, in the card of Temperance. So there, oh my God, that is so beautiful and so brilliant. I'm so thrilled for you. I truly am. Capricorns, I have such a hard time of it. You know, it's that Saturn ruler shit. It's boundaries, work, 24/7, 365. But I'm a Virgo, I get it. Sorry, I don't know. I think those are my Celtic ancestors. It's very possible. Either that or it's just Jane Horrocks stuck on a loop in my head, which is totally possible. So we'll talk about Temperance for a minute. Knew it. The companion archetype has the wise one, the hermit. So the two of you may not be together right now, or there might be some space between you, but it is healing space. So with two major arcana cards down, really, first two cards, that the Angel of Temperance, as I said, you can look at the, you know, the tarot cards for that. Different scholars and authors will say that angel is this one or that one or this one or that one. But regardless, in this deck, we're looking at a balancing of fire and water, what it is that you want and what it is that you feel, right? You may very, 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 very much want to be together, but emotionally feel like you just can't right now because the world, right? Being what it is. So that angel archetype here, you really wanting to help here, but maybe not really knowing how. Right? Like really wanting to be together, to make this better, to help each other heal in this. And of course, yes, it's possible that you have not met this person yet. I always have to put that in there. In the quantum variant, what goes on, variables, I should say, what goes on in a reading, like the symbols are in there in all the different scenarios, but they're played out in such different ways. So there are some of you that haven't met yet, some of you that have met, maybe not face to face, but know each other at least online or whatever, haven't met yet physically, and then there are those of you who, you know, have met and are separated, and those of you, of course, that are together. Right now, I don't feel like, particularly even if you are in the same living condition, the companion soulmate here is pulling back and taking some healing time. And I have to say that feels really, really good. What's at the core here? Ace of Cups. That there is definitely a seed of love here. This feels really new. This does feel like, I mean, Ace of Cups, obviously it's an ace. It's the first of the cycle of water, in this case of emotion. But I can feel that there's something like, okay, ready? Here's the feeling. Like that. That's like in my second chakra. It just kind of went like, like that, just like blushing a little bit. It feels really nice. It feels really nice. And maybe that's more on the part of the companion than the angel, but it feels there's something very innocent and cute going on here. Where does this come from? Oh, this might be why. You got the card of oppression, the devil card in the past. So both of you, again, whether you know each other or not, or have been together to not, there has been oppression, there has been fear, there have been things holding you back. Now, look, depending on when you're watching this, can we just say the past 4 months? Can we say the past 5 months? Can we just say the world in general has been the devil card in terms of what? See, there's a woman buried under rocks here, right? Like being oppressed by stones, but the stones are people's faces. Like just the psychic empathic pressure of everybody suffering in fear and uncertainty, right? Empathy for fun and profit. Great fun being an intuitive empath these past few months. So yeah, I get that balancing of fire and water. I totally get that. But it does feel like the water that you're feeling is that little carbonation in it. So yeah, I get it. That totally makes sense, but that is now behind you, not just one of you, both of you, and I'm going to tell you that feels so interwoven with the personal isolation that most of us have chosen to take on, and I feel like your companion, so to speak, archetypally here, is still in that. What's crowning sort of the immediate future, what's happening right now? Your fourth major arcana card, the Moon. So things may not be clear so much what's going on now. It might be just sort of like this, like, well, it could do that, and then, but no, wait, but don't give up hope, because maybe someday when this, you know what I'm saying? It is that kind of wandering feeling, but there is no question here with this at the core, that Moon is pulling on that ace, wanting to move it into the deuce, right? Maybe the Two of Cups. This feels really good. What comes of this? Gemini, more communication. Now, there's Gemini zodiacal placement for someone here, great. If somebody literally, this is a probability for some of you, there might actually be a messenger. There might actually be a go-between. There might actually be somebody communicating, I don't know necessarily, I wouldn't call it matchmaking, but sort of not a third party, like a romantic interest in either of you two. I don't want to go so far as to say a yenta, because I've got thousands of them in my life now with social media. People want to setting me up with people. But no, this feels different. This feels just like, oh, like a mutual friend. And they said, oh, really? They said that? I don't know. Feels good. Feels good. There's some self-expression, some communication going on here that feels on that lighter side of it, right? It could be a little flirty, as I think what I'm picking up on. What's the lesson? Oh, sugar, honey, iced tea. You got the Tower. Okay, so this is where you're coming from. All right, the oppression, both of you. Now, I know people are terrified of Kali. Come on, rightfully so. But the card of the Tower, she has shown up more than any other tarot card in this series this time around, and I really feel like, don't be afraid. It's the finger of God. That's what those little droplets of light in the Tower card are, in at least the Rider-Waite Tarot. They're the Hebrew letter Yod, Y-O-D, or Y-O-D apostrophe H, I think that is. Means the finger of God. It's even an astrological alignment between three planets. It's like a really, really thin triangle, essentially. This could be the kiss of true love. This could be the lesson of your life has now changed. Your soulmate is now here. Or, at least, their toes are on the front lawn of your energy field. You know what I'm saying? It's like your energy fields are just bumping up against each other. And so it could be a very struck by lightning thing where the past no longer sort of exists. The structure of the Tower, that which your belief system about what was going to happen and how this was going to go. I just don't get a heavy feeling about that. I feel like that's behind you, which would make sense. You're doing the temperance thing, the balance thing. Temperance, if you think of tempering eggs, right? Oh, watch a YouTube video on how to temper eggs, and you'll see what I mean about it, like making hollandaise and stuff like that. Because if you put in the hot liquid into eggs too quickly, they will curdle, they will scramble, so you have to do it gently. That's like the perfect, well, like it's called tempering, so it's not actually a metaphor. It is exactly the thing. But in terms of you like taking this slow and being disciplined and being in alignment, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You already have 5 major arcana cards, and you still have 3 to go. Yeah. So let's see, from the outside looking in, what you two look like from the point of view of the world. 8 of Cups. Now, it's not walking away. I know everybody says that, but not in this deck so much. This woman took a boat to an island, right, to follow the intuitive hits of those cups. Some were knocked over, but into isolation. 2 of you are in isolation. This relationship is in isolation. Again, people are isolating together. Sounds a little... Is that a paradox or is that a oxymoron? I don't know. It's a paradoxical oxymoron. Ow, that almost hurt saying. My jaw almost clicked. So yeah, I mean, you're either literally not together right now. Maybe you haven't met each other yet. I always like to throw that in there because that's a variable. But with this Hermit, this totally makes sense. That it's a very internal time of withdrawal. Not so much walking away from, but walking into the self. Maybe into the underworld to embrace shadow. He said while flipping over the card of the Priestess in the Destiny. Come on, come on. In the Destiny position, where this contract is on the path of true love, on the hero's journey of it all, is the High Priestess. There are secrets here. This is being used by a higher power. God, Goddess, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus. This is Isis, by the way, just saying. To really trust your intuition with the crowning of the moon, the Virgin, the Maiden, if you will, of the Maiden, Mother, and Crone in this particular deck. And you've got the Maiden and the Crone here. All that's missing is the Empress, which would be the Mother. So, you know, your destiny here might very well be veiled to you. Oh, right. When this card comes up in this position, I've said this to so many clients over the decades. I've been reading with this deck since I was a teenager. Different version, same deck, but different, I guess, copies of it, whatever. This is the color one. I used to read the black and white for years and years and years. When you get the Priestess in this Destiny Fate position, it's like, womp womp. Sorry, you're not allowed to know right now. It's all a mystery. It's all a secret. But the gods are using you like a chess piece. But are you going to be a bishop? Are you going to be a rook? Are you going to be a queen? Please don't be a hot mess about it, will you? Sorry. It's Gay Pride Month. Lovely. Your last card down. Compassion, Six of Cups. I love this card because this is the equal give and take, right? The giving and receiving, the flow of love and compassion is the name of the card, holding space for each other, equally, mutuality. Oh, I love this so much. It's the emotional balance stuff that you've been wanting, and for an angel and a companion, you're just gonna serve that F out of each other. Do you know what I mean? You just like serve each other. This is so yummy. This feels like somebody on they're giving me a clairvoyant episode here. Like somebody coming up to the bedroom with a little tray in the morning with like not just breakfast in bed, but like hot cocoa when it's really cold outside, right? Like that's the sweet of it. That's the warm of it. That's the comfort of it, the compassion of it. This feels really lovely. And Melchior apparently agrees. Wouldn't you say? Yes, the Earth Sign Tribunal has spoken. It is fair, it is good, it is balanced. And we've got 3 more cards. Like I said, Oracle based. Lay down, lay down. You can head bonk the table all you want, but lay down, lay down. We're going to ask the angels, what is the healing angel helping you guys heal each other? Doesn't matter who's watching this, call to this angel. Breathe. Oh, my angels, hi. My angels, please, 1 card in clarity for this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying, soulmate contract for June, July 2020 or timeless, involving this Capricorn angel, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and this soulmate with the companion archetype, the angel that's serving you. Oh my god, the angel of romance. Yeah, it exists. There's actually a whole core of them, C-O-R-P-S. There's a whole, like, platoon of romance angels. I think Doreen Virtue made a romance angels deck, or somebody did. I see it all the time on YouTube. I just don't want to go there. It's like, let me... I'm trying. I could never try and limit the amount of cards I own because I still have more that I could go into. So that's part of it. It's like, no, Mark, you don't need another, unless it really yells at me to buy it. But I will just say, this is what it is. But know that there is healing taking place within both of you individually that you don't realize. You're helping each other heal even in that because of the quantum entanglement of a soulmate contract. It's not that you're the same soul, but the contract is that. And that's why often when you meet, you start comparing histories, as you do, you know, getting to know each other. And you're like, oh, wow, you went through that? I went through that. And then you're like, wow, I went through that pretty much at the same time you did. It's like, yeah, that's what's called mirroring. It's just the quantum entanglement of 2 souls in an agreement. It's what happens. It's how we help each other heal. We'll all know once we croak, I hope. Right? It's like, I'll be so pissed if they don't start explaining. Shoot. I'm trying to watch my language. Healing with the Angels Oracle, we then go to the Whispers of Love Oracle. The voices of your higher selves, 5th dimension and above. One will be for your higher self, and the higher self of your companion here will be pulling the card. Nice deep breath. Well, okay. I feel that. Please, the higher selves of all involved. One card in clarity for this Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, soulmate, contract for June, July 2020, or timeless. What is the whisper of love from their higher selves? Listen with your heart. You're listening to what is being said, but you need to listen with your heart. And I think that was that serious vibe that I just got. They're like, right now your focus is really to listen to that child of your heart. I know that's different than, because yes, there is communication coming, but for where you are right now with this card of the moon, really turn inward. Go into your meditation. Do the inner child work if you've got, if it comes to that. Listen, because you're tuning into this ace. Of course, when we're meeting people and there's that exchange of information, it's hard not to listen to your heart if this is that sort of brand new Ace of Cups thing going on here. But with the lessons that you're learning here, really try and stay in the present moment, even now, like, of course, even now, but in this relationship, that you're really not just listening with your heart, but listening to it. Does that make sense? Like, there are parts of you that are going to be freaked out and afraid by that, and those parts need more love, not less, hence the going into the self here. I'm going to pop up all the cards at the end in a picture, but I'm just seeing how this is and feeling how this is coming together, which is really lovely. So to help you heal, we're going to get you a healing mantra deck card from the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck, which I think is very convenient that the card and the deck are named the same thing, from the Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contracts. Yes, it's a thing, apparently. Like a part of a law firm, essentially. I see them as a tribunal in my mind, and they just give me the info, but they're fun. Go figure. Breathe. Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contracts, please. I'm really loving this contract. Can we get one card? Just one, please. The perfect healing mantra. It doesn't matter who sees this, who watches it, whether it's the Capricorn or the companion cross-watcher that would be. Please, may this bless them. Give us the perfect healing mantra. Doesn't matter which one uses it, it will heal them through the quantum entanglement of a soulmate contract for this Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual soulmate contract for June, July 2020, please. I wait until they say go, and then I go. Your mantra is sharing shame. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. That's why you got to listen to your heart, because the two of you have just been through hell. I mean, it's the devil card. It's a feminist deck. They're not going to use patriarchal imagery like hell or Satan or the devil or anything like that. So really, you guys have been through so much. And you're a Capricorn, of course you have the strength to hear them. Listen to your heart. I'm going to read that for you. This is a beautiful, beautiful, not just a beautiful mantra that actually works, but what he wrote about it in here is I think, part of the hero's journey in general. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. When shame is shared, cycles of victimhood are permitted to heal as you find the courage to speak your truth. Now, as a sidebar, but a rather large sidebar, Black Lives Matter, racial injustice, systemic racism, all of this pain and shame is coming to the surface in order to be healed, right? So it's like surfing this tide. It's happening to everybody, and if it's not happening to you in those ways directly that we're seeing playing out in the world, then it may very well be happening on a personal level. in your life with another human being. That's holographic reality. Cope. Since abuse and neglect can only be perpetuated in silence, it's your willingness to step forward and share your life story that helps transform each wound and inspire others to be set free. So it really is very throat chakra thing. Makes sense. We're in Letha. I mean, it's all year round, the throat chakra, but the fifth Sabbath, fifth chakra, surrendering your will to the divine. I mean, the grace of counsel, the sacrament of confession. It's genius. Read Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Mace if you haven't. At least research the throat chakra. You'll see what I mean. Once your shame is shared, you are able to honor yourself with the heightened encouragement, worthiness, and validation that you deserve to receive. This mantra is ideal for revisiting past traumas, literally right there, well, literally, archetypally, metaphorically on the table, expressing your inner child. I was just saying something very inner child about all of this, and finding self-acceptance. Rock on. But look, honey, this might very well be the romance. This is not the romance that you've been waiting for a while, like doing all this work towards. Then they are so close to it that then it's got to be the one right after them. That's the way I look at it sometimes, because this feels so complete. And mind you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. You have 6, more than half major arcana here. Soul contract. So let me pop up the picture. We'll see what else the gods want to show me once I see them all. Cool, cool. Nice deep breath. Readjusting the lens, the third eye lens. Magic clap. Ooh, that was a nice loud one. Because you are the angel archetype, my Capricorn in the shadow, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. And though anybody could do the former, I can't imagine many people doing the latter. The light attribute, helping those in need with no expectation of return, is extremely Capricornian. And that the card that crosses you there is Temperance, well, that covers you, I should say, really is wonderful. You are holding your own here. You're taking your time. Slow and steady wins the race, which is very Capricorn, but really coming into a deeper relationship and balance and acceptance, right? Even with that sharing shame card, it talked about acceptance of what you want, your element of fire, and what you feel, which may be at odds with each other, as fire and water often will be. Your soulmate here has the companion archetype in its shadow, betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity, but they're moving into that place, or might already be in that place of the light attribute, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness, which is just lovely, the two of you together, an angel and a companion archetype. But right now, your companion is literally the wise one, is companioning themselves, and of course, with the situation, the health thing going on planet Earth right now, that makes complete sense, but is very much doing it voluntarily and maybe seeing things from a much higher place. You know, I always have to say, the hermit is not a card of exile. It is a hermit goes willingly. So to the top of the mountain here, hovering over Stonehenge, really seeing a larger picture from perhaps a more spiritual, but certainly being the crone card here, a wiser perspective, because what's going on here in the core is the Ace of Cups. I'm going to call it like it's usually called, at least on YouTube. This feels like a new love. This feels, particularly with the moon in the crowning position above it, it's just pulling that cup upwards, right? The gravitational pull of the moon, pulling that Ace of Cups. It's going to be a 2 very soon. My take of this is, and that certainly can be done without two people being in the same physical space. So looking at what's behind you both here, oppression, like I said, can totally be with, you know, people on lockdown, all of that stuff, as well as just your own fears of coming near anybody. That, you know, there's all sorts of oppression that's going to play itself out in a quantum field, considering what we've all been through. And to know that with the crowning card of the moon, and to keep an eye on your emotions, keep an eye on, be aware of them. Not beware of your emotions, be aware of your emotions, your intuitive hits, because intuition and emotion isn't exactly the same thing, because you could have an intuitive hit and then have a feeling, right, an emotion about, like, I have this gut feeling, but my emotion about it is fear, right? So there's all sorts of variation in that, but my sense of it is you're going to be feeling each other big time. The angel and the companion, there's probably a strong empathic link here with that Ace of Cups that is shared. And then there looks like there's going to be with that Gemini, what lay ahead of you. It's before you on the path. The Maiden of Blades, the Gemini card, some communication, some self-expression. Well, maybe it could be self-expression, you talking to a friend at first to kind of get your feelings sorted out. But it does feel like with that sharing shame card that you guys are going to have a heart-to-heart, whether you're face-to-face or not. Oh, that was a great way of saying that. Sorry, spirit guides, I'm not that eloquent. Looking here in your lesson position, we've got Kali, the Awakener, who has showed up in so many of these readings this series, as I said. But it doesn't shock me at this point because of where we are in the turn of the Great Awakening. Kali is the Awakener, right? So there's something that might have been dormant that is just shocked awake, or an old structure that is destroyed in the blink of an eye, which if you look at in terms of history, the timeline we're in, there are things being zapped and destroyed out of existence, and a lot of that is what we would call positive, right? Like social injustice, racial, systemic racism, as it was just being struck by lightning. Is it gone forever and ever? I don't know, but it's been struck by lightning, that's for sure. How do we rebuild the structure to be better, right? It's that sort of thing with going on for you both here. Your lives may well have been struck by lightning in some way, but it feels like the lesson is now, are you putting together the pieces? And is this love at first sight? Even if you haven't met face to face, that's really crazy in this world, but I get it. Hence the lesson. From the outside looking in, you got the Eight of Cups, so chances are you're both backing away a little bit, or at least going into withdrawal, literally the name of the card, not like a caffeine withdrawal, but withdrawing into yourself, going into the cave for your own intuition, your own rejuvenation, your own introspection, particularly you, my Capricorn, because you've got the card of Temperance here. You want to serve, you want to help, you want to ask nothing in return, but you also have to replenish your stores, so to speak. The Destiny here, sorry guys, you got the High Priestess, a card of secrets and mystery, but I would say certainly turn to your prayer, turn to your grace, turn to your higher power, allow yourself to be a vessel for the divine to work through. And if you want to work that Carolyn May's throat chakra anatomy of the spirit stuff, the sacred truth of the throat chakra is I surrender my will to the divine. So have fun with that, because your outcome here is the Six of Cups. Compassion feels so good. Like I said, hot cocoa in bed on a cold winter morning, kind of yummy, but equal. Like you would then turn around and do the same thing for them at night with something else, maybe something hotter than cocoa. The romance angel helping here, come on, all you gotta do is call and do the work, right? Call to the romance angels. I know it sounds so new agey coming out of my mouth, but I know they exist. I've asked them for help and they've helped me out. Listen with your heart, right? From the higher self, you're listening to what is being said to you, but you need to listen with a loving heart, and you need to listen to the parts of your heart that might not be so loving, meaning that they are perhaps in a little pain, a little fear, a little grief. You've got the oppression card behind you, right? In both of you. So to make sure you're also listening to your own heart and giving yourself the love that only you can give you, that's going to help heal your soulmate partner anyway. Hence that Six of Cups, compassion, such a perfect card to say that. Keeping in mind that the healing mantra from the Ascended Masters is about sharing shame. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. And as you give yourself permission to be, that vulnerability and that intimacy is going to be so much more available for an angel and a companion archetype to come together and really experience some intimacy that is emotional as well as physical, but not so fettered by the pain of the past. Just remembered, Capricorn, you guys have been getting some really good readings. It's hard to remember. I mean, my memory's like this to begin with. Temporal hazard, occupational temporal hazard. Just like, what time is it? Where am I? What era is this? But this feels really, really good for you. So let me give you the blessing. May the Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their soulmate contracts for June, July 2020, or timeless whenever they are watching this, to share the shame, to listen with the open heart, that the romance angels may intervene, that they may serve each other, that they may heal each other, that they may help each other heal, and really get that hot cocoa when they need it from each other under grace and imperfect ways for the well-being of all. So motivate. And so it is. It feels like this one went long, but I do not care. It was my honor and pleasure to do it. So please, my Capricorns, please do consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell, and commenting below. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed of the rest of June and July, or timeless whenever you are watching this. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.